Many people spend decades working hard, saving diligently, and building a nest egg for their financial freedom day. But when financial freedom finally arrives, something surprising happens. Some people feel bored, some disconnected, and some even struggle with the loss of purpose that their careers once gave them. So the question becomes, what actually makes being financial free so fulfilling? Today, Ben and I are going to talk about several habits and mindset shifts that can help people not only have financial freedom, but to do so with purpose, health, and most important, happiness. Stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this.
Welcome into Legacy Beyond Wealth. Ben George with Rob Shelton, founder of Axio Wealth Management. And today's conversation is all about having a fulfilling retirement, right? You might have plenty of money, but how fulfilled are you in that next chapter of life? We're going to talk about some different ways to go about that because, look, most retirement conversations, they focus on money, but that's not what's going to carry you through retirement and making sure that you are happy and have a purpose. So today we're going to provide you 5 habits, right, that can help you live your best life after you become financially free. And I think everyone can get value out of this. And if you're thinking about that retirement and you're beginning that planning process, this will really help you out. So Rob, let's run through these. I want to get your thoughts on each of these. So our first one here today, our first habit, approach financial freedom as a new chapter, not a finish line. I know often people think, oh, if I can just get to retirement, I'm all set. But really it just kind of begins there, doesn't it?
It does. And it's sometimes we think about it just like flipping a switch, and it's not easy. I mean, that's a transition that you've got to be able to give some thought to. And meeting with people that approach that retirement, or we use financial freedom as interchangeable here, just because so many people maybe don't picture themselves being retired in the way that maybe we have historically. They want to still be able to be active and things of that nature, but not exactly sure where that comes from. So without clear vision for what comes next, a lot of people feel adrift or unfulfilled. And so meaningful planning of goals ahead of time can really help provide some direction and some purpose.
And that's what you want, right? You want to have that direction, that purpose. And I'm sure you're working with your retirees all pretty consistently, right? It's not for you at Axio Wealth Management. It's not hey, once we get you there, kind of turn you free and let your plan work for you in retirement. I'm sure you're having these conversations to make sure that your clients do have that purpose, right?
Absolutely. In fact, I'm thinking back to a client that came in and he quote unquote retired or became financially free. And one question we love to ask our clients in each of our meetings is, what have you done recently to live your best life? And that really stuck with him. He was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? I'm not so sure I'm living my best life. And so we put down on the agenda for the next time he comes in to have a broader discussion of what that means for him. We wanted him to come back and some ideas and talk with his wife about what does that look like for them, about what that best life is, and really do what we call like a best life meeting, because at the end of the day, all these financial resources mean nothing if you're not having that fulfilled meeting.
Yep, got to have that. All right, our second habit here, I know a lot of people rely a lot on their day-to-day for structure and purpose, right? Your work, but hey, you're no longer going into the office. You aren't working anymore. You need to maintain that structure though in your daily life. So how do you put that in place, Rob?
Yeah, it's interesting. The human body craves a schedule or a routine. Typically, and I joke a little bit with my kids, when it seems like they're outside of their routine is when they're not living their best life. And so I think the biggest thing that's out there, and research shows this over and over again, that retirees who maintain routines often have better mental health. And simple habits like exercise time, social activities, or volunteering can really help create some of that meaningful structure that's out there.
Yeah, have structure, have a schedule, have that routine. I know it helps us all. And you talked about health and exercise there. That's number 3 here. You got to stay physically active. So often people just become kind of a little bit complacent. We've worked so hard, Rob. I understand why people would want to take their time, maybe sit on the front porch and in the rocking chair or whatever, but you have to stay active.
You do. And, regular exercise has been shown that it will reduce the risk of cognitive decline by about 30%. So things, we usually think of retirement being like golfing, but think of hiking, yoga, racket sports, or anything to really maintain that physical and mental health can really extend the quality and the length of life. And I talk with clients about longevity all the time. It's not about just living longer. It's about that quality of life that you can be able to have, those extra years to really build in that quality of life for yourself.
Well, the good thing for people that retire in Utah, Rob, there's plenty of options for that physical activity, right? A beautiful state, a lot to do outdoors. So that does make it a little bit easier, doesn't it?
Absolutely does. Absolutely.
All right. Our fourth habit here to put in place, stay socially connected. Again, you want to have those connections. You want to have those interactions. Again, as humans, we also crave that, right? So how do you stay socially connected here, Rob?
Yeah, I think that's a big, big part of things. I mean, loneliness can be have very severe consequences. Some research suggests it can be as harmful as smoking. And so, when you look at that, it's an ideal time to strengthen those relationships that are most important to you, and being really cognizant of that, really being meaningful and purposeful about it. One thing we recommend is take maybe every 6 weeks and make a quick short video to a loved family member or friend that you can tell them about what they mean to you in your life and why that relationship is so important. And as clients have taken us up on that, you can see the change that comes on them. They feel like they're leading a really more meaningful life that's having an impact upon family and friends.
Are you ready to unlock the freedom to live your best life? Schedule your no-cost 60-minute discovery meeting with our team today. During this session, we'll take the time to understand your family story and financial dreams. Together, we'll craft a personalized roadmap designed to help you achieve your goals. Let's explore how we can unlock the freedom for you and your family to thrive. Just click the link in the description of today's show to get started.
All right, our fifth habit here is another important one as you try to have the most fulfilling retirement, right? To really enjoy that next chapter of life is to continue to learn and explore new interests. Maybe you might think now that you've retired, your career's behind you, but this is a great opportunity to try new hobbies, things that you've always wanted to do, but most importantly, continue to learn.
Yeah. And one thing I challenge clients to do is to ask themselves 5 years from now, what are you going to regret that you didn't do today? What new hobby, what new skill is it that you're going to regret you haven't had the opportunity to? Because at some point we start to have that saying, oh, I'm too old to learn a new language or to do something new. And that's just the furthest thing from the truth that's out there. And so by asking yourself questions like that, we can really get down to defining what really is meaningful for the client and then helping them and encouraging them to engage in that activity. Being curious and continuous learning can help really maintain some great mental health sharpness and provide that enjoyment.
So these five habits will hopefully help you live your best life even after you become financially free. And I know it's not about that financial independence. That's the starting point, right? But it's about building a life that remains meaningful for you and fulfilling. At Axio Wealth Management, Rob, how do you help people put these habits into action and live this life every day?
Well, I think it really is just by being asking some questions about it. Like we talked about, what is it that you're doing today that's helping you live your best life? Or, what is it 5 years from now that you think that you would really regret that you hadn't taken advantage of or to do something? And another one is, what's a relationship that is really meaningful to you that maybe has lost connection or touch, and trying to re-engage in those. But just working with a professional that's having that mindset to be able to ask those questions, to try to be proactive and to spur the activity, I think is half the battle.
All right. So take the time to hopefully prepare not just for financial freedom, but for that lifestyle that you want to live is so important. And if you need help doing that, again, reach out, axiowm.com. Learn more about how Axio Wealth Management can help you and your family through their collaborative approach. We talk about it all the time on this channel, so go back and explore some of those videos. But most importantly, take that step now to help secure that future that's not only financially free, but also fulfilling as well. Rob, as always, hope you have a wonderful week. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, man.